How much time do you really have after 70? Once we pass 70, every year feels more precious. Some of us still feel strong and full of life, while others begin to slow down, facing fatigue, aches, or health issues. Why the difference? The truth is, our bodies are always speaking to us. Subtle signs, often overlooked, can offer powerful insight into how long and how well we may live. These are not myths, but real patterns doctors and researchers have seen in people who enjoy long, healthy lives. In this video, we'll explore 8 key signs that may reveal what your future health could look like. More importantly, we'll talk about what you can do now to protect and even extend your years, so you're not just living longer but living better. Stay with me until the end. You may discover that a small shift today could add bright, meaningful years to your life tomorrow. Let's begin, gently and with hope. Sign 1. Recovery time. How quickly you bounce back matters. One of the more telling yet often overlooked signs of your long-term health after 70 is how quickly you recover from small illnesses, physical exertion, or even emotional stress. Recovery time may seem like a minor detail, but it can quietly reveal how resilient your body and mind still are. Think back. When you catch a cold or feel unusually tired, how long does it take you to feel yourself again? A day or two? Or does it stretch into a week or longer? Do your muscles stay sore longer after a walk? Does a poor night's sleep affect your whole week? These small patterns are significant. As we age, our immune systems naturally weaken, and our ability to repair and restore slows down. That's expected. But when recovery becomes unusually slow, it may be a sign that the body's internal systems, immune, muscular, even hormonal, are under more strain than they used to be. And it's not just physical recovery. Emotional resilience matters too. If you find that stress or sadness lingers longer than it used to, that's just as important. Mental and emotional recovery are deeply intertwined with your physical well-being. Chronic stress can weaken the immune system, affect sleep, and even impact heart health. But here's the uplifting truth. Recovery can be supported and strengthened. Adequate rest, hydration, gentle exercise, and a nourishing diet are the foundation. But so is something deeper, listening to your body. Give it space to heal when it asks. Don't rush it. A 20-minute nap, a quiet afternoon in the garden, or a cup of tea with a friend can work wonders. And don't underestimate the power of joy and connection. Laughter, creativity, music, nature, they're not luxuries. They're medicine for the spirit, and they play a powerful role in how we bounce back from life's challenges. I once met a retired teacher named Harold who said, "The older I get, the more I realize that healing takes time, but also intention. I don't just rest, I restore." That stayed with me. So ask yourself gently, how do you recover these days? And how might you support that process with a little more care? Your body may not be as quick as it once was, but with awareness and kindness, it can still be strong, wise, and deeply resilient. Sign 2. How fast you walk, a quiet predictor of longevity. It might surprise you, but one of the most telling signs of how long you might live after 70 isn't found in a blood test or high-tech scan. It's in the simple rhythm of your footsteps. Your walking speed, how briskly or slowly you move from one room to the next, down a sidewalk or across a grocery aisle, can quietly reflect your overall health more than you may realize. In fact, researchers often call it the 6th vital sign. That's how important it is. Studies have shown that older adults who walk at a naturally faster pace, about 1 meter per second or more, tend to live longer than those with a slower gait. Why? Because walking involves a remarkable coordination between your heart, lungs, muscles, balance, and even your brain. If any of these systems begin to weaken, it often shows up first in your walking. But it's not just about speed, it's also about ease. Do you feel confident when you walk? Do you move with purpose, or do you find yourself hesitating, feeling unsure of your footing? These sensations, subtle as they may be, are worth listening to. The good news is, walking speed is something you can nurture and improve at any age. Gentle strength training, regular walks outdoors, and balance exercises like Tai Chi or light yoga can make a significant difference. Even 10 minutes of daily movement can support your muscles, boost circulation, and increase your overall energy. I remember speaking with a gentleman named George who was 74 and lived in a quiet town in Oregon. He told me he had started walking to the mailbox every day, a short distance at first. At first it tired him. But over weeks, then months, he noticed a change, not just in his legs but in his mood, his confidence, and even his sleep. "I felt like I was waking up again," he said. So take a moment to notice, how do you walk today? Not with judgment, but with gentle awareness. If you find yourself slowing down more than usual, it's not a sign of defeat. It's simply your body inviting you to care for it with a little more attention and love. If you're still with me and finding these insights helpful, please comment number 2 below to let me know you're here. If you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you do so and turn on the bell so you never miss a video. Your support helps us continue creating meaningful content for you. Let's continue. Sign 3. Grip strength, what your hands say about your health. Take a moment and make a gentle fist. Squeeze, not too hard, and feel the strength in your fingers, your palm, your wrist. That simple act may seem like nothing, but it holds remarkable insight into your overall vitality. Grip strength. Yes, the strength of your hands has been identified in countless studies as one of the most reliable indicators of longevity. In fact, doctors and researchers often say that a person's hand strength can reflect the strength of their heart, their nervous system, and their muscular resilience all at once. Why does this matter so much after 70? As we age, our muscles naturally begin to weaken, a process called sarcopenia. It's normal, but when it happens too quickly or too early, it can lead to reduced mobility, higher fall risk, and slower recovery from illness. The hands are often the first place this weakness quietly shows up. But grip strength isn't just about physical power, it also tells us something about engagement with life. Think of all the small, meaningful things we do with our hands. Cooking, gardening, writing, holding a loved one's hand, even opening a jar or lifting a teacup. When grip strength declines, those everyday joys become harder. And that, over time, can quietly lead to less activity, more isolation, and declining health. I remember a woman named Margaret, who once told me she used to bake every Saturday morning for her grandchildren. But as arthritis and weakness crept into her hands, she stopped. "It just felt too hard," she said, "and I didn't want to feel frustrated." But when she began using a simple hand exercise ball each day, slowly but steadily her strength came back. And so did her Saturday baking. "It's not just my hands that feel better," she said. "It's my spirit." The encouraging news is that grip strength can be improved at any age. Hand exercises using soft therapy balls, light weights, or even a damp towel rolled tightly and squeezed can do wonders. Resistance bands, stress balls, and even kneading dough can help maintain or rebuild strength. Beyond that, staying physically active in general, walking, lifting groceries, carrying bags, helps the entire muscular system, including your grip. And if you notice a change, such as dropping things more often or struggling with buttons, consider it a gentle message from your body, not a warning but a whisper saying, "I need a bit more attention." Our hands tell stories. They hold memories, shape meals, write letters, cradle newborns, and wave goodbye. They deserve our care, not just so we can live longer but so we can do more of the things that bring us joy, connection, and meaning. So how strong is your grip today? If it's not what it used to be, that's okay. Begin again gently. You may be surprised by how much strength you still carry, and how much more is possible. Sign 4. Appetite and weight changes, the silent messages of your body. As we grow older, our relationship with food begins to shift. Meals may become simpler, portions smaller, and the enjoyment of eating may slowly fade without us even realizing it. That's why changes in appetite and weight, especially when subtle, can be one of the most revealing signs of what's happening inside your body after 70. You see, appetite isn't just about hunger. It's a reflection of your body's overall state, your metabolism, digestion, mood, energy levels, and even emotional health. If you've noticed that your desire to eat has diminished over time, or that you're unintentionally losing weight, it may be your body's quiet way of saying it needs support. Unplanned weight loss in older adults is something doctors pay close attention to. It can be linked to muscle loss, which affects strength and mobility. It may signal underlying issues like poor nutrient absorption, medication side effects, or even emotional struggles such as loneliness or depression. On the flip side, a sudden increase in appetite, especially cravings for sugary or processed foods, can also be a sign. Sometimes it's the body seeking quick energy to compensate for fatigue or hormonal changes. Sometimes, it's comfort-seeking behavior during times of emotional stress. But here's the beautiful part. When we tune in with care, appetite becomes a gentle teacher. It can help us reflect on how we're really doing, not just physically but emotionally and spiritually too. I once sat with a woman named Elaine who told me she used to love preparing meals. It was how I cared for my family, she said. But after her husband passed, she found herself skipping meals, saying, "What's the point when it's just me?" We talked about food not just as fuel but as a form of self-love. She began preparing small, nourishing dishes again, just for herself. It was a quiet act of healing. If you're noticing changes in your eating habits, don't brush them off. Instead, see them as gentle signals asking for attention. Make meals simple but beautiful. Choose fresh, colorful foods. Eat with others when you can. Even once a week can lift the spirit more than you know. And if you're caring for someone older, notice how they talk about food. Do they seem disinterested, or have they stopped enjoying what they used to? A conversation about appetite is often a doorway into a deeper understanding of what they might be feeling. Our bodies speak in whispers. Appetite and weight are two of those whispers. When we honor them, not with fear but with compassion, we open a path not only to longer life but to more joyful living. So today, take a moment to ask yourself, am I nourishing my body and soul with intention? If not, it's never too late to begin again, with one simple, loving meal at a time. If you're still with me and finding these insights helpful, please comment number 4 below to let me know you're here. If you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you do so and turn on the bell so you never miss a video. Your support helps us continue creating meaningful content for you. Let's continue. Sign 5. Sleep quality, the rhythm that shapes your longevity. Sleep may seem like a quiet part of our lives, but it plays a deeply powerful role, especially after 70. While it's natural for sleep patterns to shift as we age, poor quality sleep is more than just a nighttime frustration. It's a vital sign of how your brain, heart, hormones, and immune system are functioning together. And it may quietly influence how many healthy years you have ahead. Good sleep doesn't just restore energy. It helps repair cells, regulate blood pressure, stabilize mood, sharpen memory, and keep inflammation in check. In fact, researchers have found that people over 70 who consistently get deep, restorative sleep tend to live longer and maintain better cognitive health. But here's the challenge. Aging bodies often face sleep disruption. You may find yourself waking up several times a night, rising earlier than you used to, or lying in bed unable to drift off. This isn't just inconvenient. It can be your body's way of saying it needs attention. Underlying issues like sleep apnea, chronic pain, restless legs, or even silent anxiety can all disturb your natural sleep cycles. Over time, this affects not only your physical health but your emotional resilience, memory, and even your relationships. But the good news is this: sleep, like any other part of well-being, can be nurtured. I remember a man named Thomas, 78, who told me he hadn't slept through the night in over a decade. It just felt normal to be tired all the time, he said. But after gently shifting his evening routine, no screens before bed, a warm foot soak, and calming music, his sleep slowly improved. "I forgot how good it feels to wake up rested," he told me with a smile. You don't need perfection. You just need intention. Start with small habits. Keep a regular sleep schedule even on weekends. Dim the lights an hour before bed to signal your body that it's time to wind down. Avoid caffeine or heavy meals in the evening. And if something's on your mind, write it down in a journal. Let your thoughts rest too. If you've been struggling with sleep for a while, don't hesitate to speak with your doctor. Even a simple evaluation can uncover treatable causes and offer real relief. Remember, sleep is not a luxury. It is a foundation. A peaceful night leads to a stronger day. And day by day, this adds up to a life that is not just longer, but fuller, lighter, and more joyful. So tonight, as you lay your head down, think of sleep not as an end, but as a gift. A gentle return to yourself. A quiet promise of healing and renewal. Sign 6. Social connection. The lifeline of a long, meaningful life. When we think about longevity, we often picture diet, exercise, or medical checkups. But one of the most powerful, and sometimes overlooked, predictors of how long and how well we live after 70 is something less measurable but deeply human: our relationships. Social connection, having meaningful ties with family, friends, neighbors, or even a familiar shopkeeper, is not just emotionally comforting. It's life-extending. In fact, research has consistently shown that people with strong social ties live longer, recover faster from illness, and enjoy better mental and emotional well-being. Conversely, chronic loneliness can be as harmful to health as smoking or obesity. It's not about how many people you know. It's about the quality of those connections. Do you have someone you can talk to openly? Someone who checks in on you or who lights up when you enter the room? Do you feel part of something larger than yourself? Be it a family, a community, a spiritual group, or even a book club. As we age, the natural rhythm of life may bring loss of loved ones, roles, or routines. These shifts can quietly lead to isolation. But that doesn't mean the story ends there. In many ways, it can be the beginning of a new chapter, one where connection becomes a conscious choice rather than a circumstance. I once met a soft-spoken woman named Ruth, who at 82 had recently moved into a senior living community. At first, she felt invisible, until she decided to join a morning walking group. "I didn't think I had the energy," she said, "but those walks gave me more than exercise, they gave me friends." She shared how her mood lifted, her appetite improved, and her days felt fuller, simply because she had people to greet each morning. Even a small gesture, a phone call, a handwritten note, a smile to a neighbor, can be the beginning of a deeper connection. Volunteering, attending a local event, or joining a group aligned with your interests, like gardening or painting, can open doors you didn't expect. If you're someone who enjoys solitude, that's okay too. It's not about being surrounded by people. It's about knowing that you belong and that someone cares about your presence. So take a quiet inventory today. Who do you connect with regularly? Who lifts your spirit? And who might be waiting for your call, your story, your warmth? Because in the end, we were never meant to walk this path alone. Love, friendship, shared laughter, and quiet companionship, these are not just joys of life. They are the very threads that help extend it. If you're still with me and finding these insights helpful, please comment number 6 below to let me know you're here. If you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you do so and turn on the bell so you never miss a video. Your support helps us continue creating meaningful content for you. Let's continue. Sign 7. Sense of purpose, the deepest fuel for longevity. There is something quietly powerful that lives deep in the heart of every person, especially as we age. A sense of purpose. Purpose is not a job title or a grand mission. It's the reason you get up in the morning. It's what makes you feel useful, needed, connected to life. And after 70, this inner compass becomes even more important, not just for your spirit but for your health. Multiple studies have shown that older adults with a clear sense of purpose tend to live longer, healthier lives. They are less likely to suffer from chronic diseases, depression, and even cognitive decline. Why? Because having something meaningful to live for, whether it's caring for a pet, tending a garden, volunteering, creating art, mentoring someone younger, or simply being a source of wisdom in your family, activates both the body and the brain in beautiful, healing ways. Purpose gives structure to your days. It brings light to your thoughts. It reminds you that you matter not despite your age but because of it. I once met a gentleman named Walter, a retired mechanic in his late 70s. After retiring, he told me he felt lost for a while, like I'd been put in park after running in gear for decades. But everything changed when he started fixing old bicycles for kids in his neighborhood. "I wasn't just tightening bolts," he said. "I was building something that made a child smile, and that gave me life again." Your purpose doesn't need to be big or public. It can be private, even quiet. Perhaps it's sharing your stories with a grandchild, or writing a letter to an old friend, or simply offering kindness to those around you. These small things are not small at all. They ripple out in ways we may never fully see. And if you feel like you've lost your sense of purpose, know that it's not gone. It may just be waiting to be rediscovered. Sometimes it helps to reflect. What do I love? Who do I care about? What would I regret not doing? Your life experience is a gift. Your presence, your wisdom, your compassion, they are deeply needed in this world even when it doesn't always show it. You are still becoming, still growing, still giving. So ask yourself gently, what gives your life meaning right now? And what small step could you take to learn more fully into it? Because in the end, purpose is not only what makes life longer, it's what makes life worth living. Sign 8. Emotional flexibility, the art of letting go and adapting. As we journey through our 70s and beyond, life continues to change. Our bodies shift. Loved ones come and go. The world moves faster than it once did. In the face of all this, one quiet skill often separates those who age with grace from those who struggle: emotional flexibility. Emotional flexibility means the ability to adapt, to feel deeply without becoming stuck, to accept what we cannot control, and to keep finding peace amid uncertainty. It's not about suppressing sadness or pretending everything is fine. It's about allowing life to move through you without breaking your spirit. People who live long and live well often share this quiet resilience. They've been through hardships, loss, illness, change, but they've learned to let go of what they cannot change and hold close what they still can. This trait isn't inherited. It's cultivated. It comes from choosing, again and again, to forgive rather than resent, to hope rather than despair, and to be present rather than dwell in what used to be. Take, for example, a man named Samuel I once met at a community center. He had lost his wife of 52 years, and for a time, it seemed his world had gone dim. But slowly he began painting, something he hadn't done since his 20s. "I needed to find a new way to talk about life," he told me. And through his art he began to smile again. Not because the grief vanished, but because he moved with it instead of against it. That is emotional flexibility. This kind of inner movement also has measurable effects. It helps regulate stress hormones, supports immune function, and reduces the risk of depression and cognitive decline. In short, it keeps us alive inside. So how do we nurture this kind of flexibility? We pause. We breathe. We allow emotions to visit without letting them take over the whole house. We talk. We write. We spend time in nature. We let go of the small things more easily. We practice compassion, for others but especially for ourselves. Growing older is not about becoming tougher. It's about becoming softer in the right places, wise enough to know what matters and gentle enough to let the rest pass. So perhaps sign 8 isn't just a sign of how long you'll live, but how well. Final thoughts. So here we are, 8 signs, each one a quiet reflection of your health, your resilience, and your potential to keep living not just longer, but better. If you've seen yourself in some of these signs, maybe you've slowed down a bit, maybe you've lost touch with old routines or feel a little more tired than you used to. Know this. It's never too late to begin again. Your body is wise. Your spirit is stronger than you think. And small, loving choices made consistently can add not just years to your life, but life to your years. Whether it's walking a little more each day, calling someone you love, or simply going to bed a bit earlier, each choice matters. And you don't have to do it all at once. Just begin with one. You are not alone on this path. Millions of others just like you are choosing to age with grace, strength, and intention. And if you're watching this video, I believe you're one of them. If this video spoke to you, I invite you to do 3 things. Reflect. Which of these 8 signs stood out most to you? Take a quiet moment today, perhaps with a cup of tea, and write it down. Awareness is the first step toward change. Share. If you know someone, a friend, a sibling, a neighbor who might need this message, please share this video with them. Sometimes all it takes is one conversation to spark a new beginning. Subscribe and turn on the bell. If you'd like more gentle guidance, encouragement, and practical wisdom for this beautiful season of life, be sure to subscribe. I'd love to walk this journey with you, one mindful, meaningful step at a time. And remember, getting older is not about decline. It's about deepening into your wisdom, your presence, your purpose. You are still growing, still giving, still becoming. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.